Hey, what is up, Benzo warriors and beautiful people? Sorry about my hands. Oh man, I don't even know where to start. Bear with me on this video because I got so much stuff to tell you. I'm not gonna get through it all in this video, but I'm sorry about the steering wheel. That's what I was trying to say. I have an hour drive now to work. So a lot of time to reflect, and I'm going on. Well, I'm over a year since I jumped off Valium. 40 milligrams was I started. If you don't know my story, and then I started tapering in 2022 of August. Then I had to reset in January 2023. It took me 2 years. So 23, yeah, we'll just say 23. Yeah, January 2023 is when I went hard. So I followed the Ashton manual. How I got injured from the benzo was in 2020. I was on Valium for 10 years. And I went to a detox facility for alcohol. I'm in recovery now. I'm sober. Everything is great. That's a whole nother video. But when I went there, they pulled me off my Valium. And they gaslit me and told me, oh, you can't take this anymore. You know, and I understand why, because it is a narcotic. And come to think of it, when I got back on the Valium, which is, I'll get to that, I started drinking again. Shocking. But that was in 2021, so that was years ago. But anyway, I digress. So, I didn't know. I knew that you were supposed to taper off Valium, just from way back when. I knew it. But I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know how. So when they told me that they were going to get me off my Valium, I was like, okay. I thought we were going to do a taper. At least 2 weeks. Because that's what, I didn't know you have to taper for years. I thought it was like 2 weeks to a month is how long it took, just from prior knowledge. And no, it was 2 days. Took my Valium the first 3 days, then they switched me to some other shit, and then after 5 days they said, all right, you have a good day, congratulations. And that's when my life has completely been transformed. I would say destroyed. At that time, completely destroyed. Like I said, a reason why I'm posting this video is because I want you to know I'm better now. I'm better. So I don't want to drag. If you're trying to get to the point, like, what the fuck are you trying to say? Today I'm better, but it's been 3 years of hell. But anyway, so going back to when I first got injured, I didn't know anything about benzo injuries or what post-acute withdrawals. And for 7 months, man, I lost my mind. And it wasn't anything that I've experienced. Fuck, man. I get emotional because, man, that was such a terrible time. And that's why I want to share these videos, because if you're going through benzo withdrawals, man, tell me, put it in the comments, put your name, and I'll put you on my prayer list. Because we have to stick together, man. Nobody believes us, nobody knows that what we're going through. I know what you're going through. So I'm here now. My purpose in life is to lift you up. That's what that's why I had to go through all this shit. And like I said, this video isn't even gonna I don't have enough time, unless you want to watch a 2-hour video. I'd be happy to tell you my journey for the past 3 years, 4 years, but I'm just trying to today I'm just trying to give you hope. And I'm back on YouTube. I started posting videos of my detox 6 months in. So go check those out if you want to see. But I kind of jumped around, right? You'll notice I jumped around. It's kind of hard driving and filming. But, for 7 months, I was having anxiety that I didn't even know was possible. But I didn't know what it was. And so when I would tell this psychiatrist that pulled me off my Valium, like, dude, you have to help me. Like, please. Something is wrong with me. And they just gaslit me, dude. They tried to put me on all kinds of more meds, but they wouldn't put me on Valium, which they should have put me back on it, and then they should have tapered me. But whatever. I don't like saying should, because it's called don't should on yourself. It's what can we do different, right? So anyway, for 7 months, I mean, just the electricity, and you know what I'm talking about. I mean, just I'm clenching my fist because it was just like so powerful. The post-acute withdrawals, it was just so. When I would have the brain zaps and all that fucking anxiety, that was one of the symptoms. And then I didn't know anything about waves or windows, I didn't know anything about that. And I would have 2 to 3 week waves of where just completely lethargic, couldn't move. The anxiety never went away. That was every day. Every day. Couldn't sleep. But the lethargic, man, that was confusing. Because it felt like my muscles were concrete, or they were filled with sand. I just could not move. And I'm like, man, what is going on? And I'm thinking it's all from alcohol, which who knows? But majority was from the men. But the reason why I said that was because I didn't know I was going through benzo withdrawals. I didn't know. And then I was telling the doctor, what is wrong? And all he would say is, oh, you just have anxiety. I'm like, no fucking shit. But I was not like this before I got on the Valium. And he's like, well, let's try this SSRI. Let's try this. And I'm like, and I was on SSRIs before in 2000, and I swore I would never go back on them again because I'm against SSRIs, but I also understand they can help. So if you're on one, that's fine. You'll hear me talk about, I just don't like, they don't help you, or they don't heal you like the doctors say, oh, you have a chemical independency or whatever it's called, so you need to take an SSRI to rewire your brain. No, dude. They put you on that shit and then it makes you a fucking zombie. So you just don't care. That's all it does. SSRIs are bullshit. If you think your SSRI is helping you and healing you, sorry, it's not. Now, I say that with love, because if you don't want to feel and you don't want to experience the trauma, the anxiety, the pain that's causing your depression, then fine, take the SSRI. Go ahead. But just know that if a doctor told you you need to be on one and you didn't choose to be put on one, fuck that. Get off that shit. You don't need to be on it. If you went in there and you said, hey, you know what, I want to try. Like, if you said you want to try, hats off. Go ahead. Do what you got to do. It's your life. Live it. But when doctors fucking tell you, oh, are you feeling depressed? How about you try this Lexapro pill or Effexor? Nah, dude. That was a resentment that took me a long time to get over. So I'm here. I mean, I got all kinds of information. the whole medical system's a scam. In case you haven't realized this, it's all a scam. Just like everything else in this fucking world. It's all money. They want to keep you sick so they can keep you coming back every, like I said, I digress. But anyway, I finally went back on after 7 months of hell. Sorry for jumping around. Like I said, I need to start making like bullet points. I'll start doing that. I'll make bullet points so I can just stay on topic. But I have to start filming again because I know this, God keeps telling me, like, dude, you have to lift others up. You're better now. You're better. I wasn't better. I just got better like a week ago, maybe a month ago. I started to get better. Because this past year when I jumped, hell. Pure hell. It did not get better. It got worse. Well, a different kind of worse. But I got back on the Valium after 7 months. I called my primary care and was like, dude, please refill my Valium. I was only going to take it for 2 weeks because I was in therapy doing EMDR therapy. So I'm like, hey, I just need to take this Valium for 2 weeks. Because every time I would see my therapist, I would feel better. Like all the anxiety and all the shit that would go away. And then, that's really why I was so fucked up too. Because there's the chemical withdrawals and then there's the anxiety that I've never dealt with. So the fact that they pulled me off anxiety medication without even addressing the trauma that was causing it, it's so unethical. But again, whatever, I digress. So I got on it, and then I stayed on it for like a year. Well, no, I thought it was only going to be 2 weeks, and I didn't know anything about kindling. I didn't know that it only takes 2 weeks to become dependent. It could take less than 2 weeks. So I got on it thinking, in 2 weeks, I'll just jump off. Oh, God, no. When I tried to jump, it doubled. The symptoms that I had for that 7 months were, literally, they just doubled. So I was stuck. I had to keep taking it because I couldn't go to work. I literally couldn't go to work. So I took the Valium for a year, and then I started researching. I learned about the Ashton manual. I don't know how I figured it out, but I just saw other people's videos and learned that, hey, there's actually a benzo brain injury is a real thing, and I was injured. And then that's when I learned about the Ashton manual, and I eventually studied, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna try and get off this shit because I didn't like what it was doing to me. It just made me stupid. It helped, but I was still having anxiety. So I'm like, why am I on this shit if I'm still having anxiety? So then I decided to get off. My doctor at first wanted to get me off in a month, and I believed him. And I tried, and that didn't work. Cut it in a quarter every week. Tried that. That did not work. That was impossible. And then I stumbled across the Ashton manual where she's like, hey, every 2 weeks you need to drop a 0.5 milligram. And if you're on this dose, so look at the Ashton manual. I wouldn't say you have to follow it exact, but it's a damn good starting point. So I went in and convinced him, hey dude, I need to do a long taper. He's like, no, he did not want to do it. He was not for it. And then I got the Ashton manual. I went to the Benzo Information Coalition site. Make sure to look at that if you haven't seen it already. Benzo Information Coalition. I'll find out for sure. But just look up Benzo Information Coalition. There's another word. That's a whole community organization that is here to help people like us that have benzo injuries, because doctors don't know about it. That's the problem. Doctors don't know. They don't acknowledge it. They think we're full of shit. They think that we just have anxiety, and that when we tell them, dude, something's wrong with us, they just don't want to admit it. They don't want to admit that the medicine destroyed us. And now, over time, because people are speaking up, and that's why I'm speaking, because I have to, there's doctors out there that understand, okay, this is a real thing. And you know how they understand? One guess. because they had it happen to them. That's the only reason why these doctors that actually help us was because they went through it too. If they hadn't gone through it, find me a doctor that hasn't gone through benzo withdrawals and will taper you. I hope so. Maybe there are. But dude, there's a doctor out there called Dr. Joseph with a J, Dr. Joseph. Look him up. He's really good. I started following him. Like I said, I didn't even get to my story. I don't want to keep going, but anyway, I went to the doctor the next day with all my materials from the Benzo Coalition site, brought the Ashley manual, highlighted things, and I told him, I'm like, bro, this is what we need to do. This is the research. This is the literature. It's scientific. And he said, okay, I'll look at it. And then the next day, man, a miracle. He told me, I think you're going to need more time. And I was like, oh, thank you, God. Thank you, God. So yeah, that's when I started my taper, and I tapered for 2 years, about a year and a half solid. So I tried in August 2022, didn't succeed, and then January 2023 I followed the Ashley manual. I had the plan, and then I jumped May, right before my birthday, May 6th, 2024. And then this past year, like I said, it did not get better. I was still fucked up. It did get, I want to say it did get a little bit better for sure, but I ended up having another setback. And it wasn't even from medication. It was just from too much stress. I went too hard. I didn't know you could have a setback without using, and I injured my brain again. And it is what it is. But so I've been healing this past year. Since January, I wanted to just die. I was over it. I was completely over it. And then by March, I started to get my life together, and then I just got better. And anyway, I'll tell you all about that in the next video. I'm going way too long, but hey, if you're going through benzo withdrawals, I feel you. Let me know. I will pray for you. And I just want to tell you, it does get better. It will get better. I know you probably hear that and you're sick of hearing that, but eventually it gets better. I'm here to tell you, just hang in there, man, or lady. Stay strong. You're not alone. I fucking love you. And if you're going through this, I love you. And I mean that, because nobody deserves to go through what we went through. We didn't choose that. So you're not alone, and just please stay strong. There's people out there that they don't make it. They don't make it. And a lot of people off themselves because of benzo withdrawals. It's very common. I was close. I'm not gonna lie. I was there. I had fucking psychiatrists calling me every day, seeing if I was still alive. That's how bad it was. Because I was just telling them how I felt. I wasn't gonna do it, but that's how I felt. I'm like, fuck this, man. Fuck this. But God won't let me do that. I mean, that's just not an option. Thank God. So if you're having those thoughts, it's normal to want to think about ending, but just don't. Please hang in there. I got you, okay? If you want to talk, if you want to whatever, just message me in the comments, and I'm gonna keep posting videos. I'm going back on YouTube, guys, ladies.